And the first megatrend is the evolution of the channel. And I really like this because I've seen the channel and how successful the channel can be for, several vendors and manufacturers out there and distributors. But I think, we also see the channel evolving. For me, I like to look outside of the industry, and I think everybody here has seen other markets adapt to the digitalization of their supply chain, right? Of their channel. You saw that in movies, especially with a lot of companies that didn't really embrace technology, and look at where movies and streaming is now versus what it was back then. And same thing happened with music. But I think the security industry is very interesting because we have both hardware and software. So what are your thoughts on the evolution of the channel, and what are some of the impacts you're seeing that's happening?
Well, there's a little bit of upheaval going on in the industry. We are seeing more complex systems come out. AI has been obviously on the forefront of some of these mega trends in the past, and it's really requiring some new skill sets. There's new customers are looking to do different things with the information, with their security data, right? And we're starting to see a new group of integrators kind of come into the mix to
Hmm.
handle more complex functionalities, things like digital evidence, as an example.
Yes.
We are seeing more folks come in that'll leverage, we may still have a security integrator come in and put in a solution for a facility. However, organizationally, they may be using someone else to leverage that data set. And it's really to fill in that skill gap that's there. But we're also starting to see end users go more towards the manufacturers for their information now as opposed to the channels. So you may see that at Axis in the role that you're doing today, where more manufacturers are reaching out to you guys to get the more of the straight news on the goods, if we might say, and what the latest and greatest are. So end users, consultants, and the channels that are out there are really changing where they're getting their information from. All right. And I know with the channels, with cloud, that was a very disruptive technology for
Hmm.
them. Cloud, trying to figure out how to build cloud into your business model and maintain things like your profit margins and things like that appear to be a challenge for a lot of them. And when we start looking at the things like security as a service, they're challenged fitting that into their business model as well. There has been hardware as a service available in the market for quite a while.
Hmm.
I know a lot of the manufacturers have been offering that for 2, 3 years now, and I think that's an untapped opportunity in the industry, really, because it mirrors what cloud would provide in a OpEx model. But it would mean that that the channel could actually benefit from that revenue as opposed to it just going to a public cloud provider at
Hmm.
the end of the day. So it's basically on-prem cloud as a service is something that's out there available to them as well. And that's something that I think they're going to be grappling with.
Yeah, and I think one of your one of your perspective is the end customer, and I'm seeing more and more of the end customer driving the
Hmm.
technology adoption, but also influencing some of these channel models, right, to evolve. We're not talking about changing a lot of these channel models. It's just more of a evolution because the end customers now are expecting a lot more. They're seeing a lot more. They're starting to realize more value in their systems that they're managing. So I think there is some opportunities for the channel to evolve and kind of grow with the end customer because ultimately they're the ones that are driving demand, right? And we should
They
definitely
are.
listen to them, right?
We should, and it's really becoming more of an ecosystem sale as well.
Hmm.
When you think about an end user, if they're trying to build a new facility, do they want to talk to a camera manufacturer, set up a meeting for a software vendor, set up a meeting for a hardware vendor,
Hmm.
set up a meeting, it's meeting after meeting after meeting trying to build all these puzzle pieces. Whereas if the industry showed up as an ecosystem to service that client, they could accomplish that task a lot faster and probably get that better comfort feeling that they have a supply chain servicing them now, not just an
Yep.
individual that's going to be impacted by the supply chain and the different relationships with these vendors.
Exactly. And I think what the industry can learn from is the IT industry because I've seen that type of horizontal strategy. Because I think in the security industry, what I've seen when I entered this like 21 years ago, a lot of proprietary, a lot of things
Yeah.
that are like closed and like you should only use us and not anyone else, and not really partnerships. Whereas the IT world, they really have embraced a horizontal strategy to say, hey, it's not just us, it's others that are a piece of the puzzle that forms the overall bigger system, and they can all be successful together. There's really
Yes.
a way, like an ecosystem, like you're stating, right? And that to me, I think is probably the next evolution in the security industry, is starting to see more and more ecosystem type partnerships in order to
Mhm.
drive what the end customer is wanting.
Yep. It is going to take that ecosystem in order to get that full system put together for them.
Yeah, and you mentioned hardware as a service, and I think that's another key aspect here, where the hardware itself is almost a part of that infrastructure as a service, right? So it's almost like it's not taking away business from a lot of the existing channels, existing integrators. It's more about even providing more services to the end customer. And if the integrators realize that that's an opportunity for them to even, evolve their services offering from maintenance to installation to just upkeep, I think there's a lot of value that they can also bring and involve their business model for the end customer as well too. So
Yes.
cool, appreciate that.